I'm called the Irish Storyteller, and in this video I'm going to tell you a little fairy story. It involves two hunchbacks, Mickey and Thomas. Mickey was a very generous man. He would often make toys for the children, was well liked in the community, would often help others in many other ways too. Thomas was a bit more selfish. He always looked after himself, always wanted to see what he could get out of people, without giving much in return. So the story goes, it was Samhain or Halloween, and on Samhain you have to keep away from the fairies, keep away from the fields, try and get home before darkness falls. But on this evening, Mickey, who's always thinking of others, he was out picking branches, trying to make toys for the children for Christmas, which was coming up. And before he knew it, night fell, and he was thought, oh my God, I have to get out of here before the fairies come. And he walked through the fields, took a shortcut home, and he heard this music, this enchanting music, and he thought, oh my God, that's the fairies, I better get out of here. So he changes direction, goes another way, and he can hear the music again, so he changes direction again. But before he knows it, he's in a field surrounded by dancing fairies, with the king of the fairies right in the middle. And they're singing this song, which is basically 2 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, de lune, de mart. And it goes like this: de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart. And he can't help himself. Mickey just starts singing along and dancing along, de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart. And he decides to add in an extra day, which is Wednesday, de Cadin. De lune, de mart, de lune, de mart, de lune, de mart, de Cadin. And suddenly, silence. The fairies stop dancing. The king of the fairies walks up to Mickey and says, what did you do? And Mickey now thinks, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, I'm very sorry. I couldn't help but sing along with the song, and I became enchanted by it, and I love the song. And I thought, though, I could really do it an extra bit just to kind of enhance the song a bit more. So I added in Wednesday, the Cadine. So it's the Lune de Mata Cadine. I thought that would work well. And then the king of the fairies said, brilliant. I love it. We all love it. This has really, really made our night. I mean, we've been singing the same song, De Lune de Mar, for the last 5,000 years, and this really adds to it. So thank you so much. We're so happy that you added that bit. And Mickey thought, phew, thank God, thank God, thank God. So this is the king of the fairies. We're going to give you a special present now, okay? So wait for this. So the fairies jumped on his back, on Mickey's back. Again, he had a hump in his back, and he could feel this heat on the back. Suddenly, he could feel this weightlessness on his back, and the hump came off. The fairies had it in their hands, and Mickey, he stood upright for the first time. He thought, oh my God, this feels amazing. Thank you so much. He was so appreciative to the king of the fairies and all the other fairies for what they did. And he was so appreciative that the king of the fairies said, you know what? I've heard you're a good man. You help the community. So I'm going to give you one more present. So he brings out this gold coat full of jewels and gems, and he puts it on Mickey, and it fits perfectly. And Mickey thinks, wow, this really is my night. But he also thinks, I better get out of here, because I know that the fairies are called the good people, but they can also turn bad pretty quickly if you fall on the wrong side of them. So he just gets out of there very quickly, says, thank you very much, I have to go. So he runs off, goes into the pub, and opens up the door. There's people inside the pub drinking, and they see the stranger, who is, of course, Mickey. And Mickey says, drinks are on me. And they think, who is this man? And Mickey says, it's me, Mickey. I know I don't have the hump anymore. And he tells them about how he met the king of the fairies, how he danced around, how he added that extra day, Decadine, Wednesday, and how the king of the fairies was so happy with it. And he buys another round. And Thomas, the other hunchback who's sitting in the corner, always thinking of himself, he thinks, okay, this guy, Mickey, he got rid of his hump, which I could do with. He got all this lovely coat by adding one extra day. What if I add 3 days? Yeah, they give me even more jewels, more coats, more. That's what I'm going to do. So Thomas, he gets his free drink, of course, but he sneaks off, goes through the fields, ends up in the fairy field again. All the dancing fairies, the king of the fairies, singing De Lune de Mart, De Lune de Mart, De Lune de Mart, De Cadine. And of course, Thomas thinks, I'm going to add in these extra days. De Lune de Mart, De Lune de Mart, De Lune de Mart, De Cadine, De Derdine, De Hina August, De Saturn. And suddenly, silence. King of the Fairies goes up and says, who are you? And what did you do? Thomas says, well, I heard, that you like the song, and I added in 3 extra days. 3 more days I gave you there. I think I deserve something extravagant for this. And of course, the King of the Fairies could see right through Thomas and says, "Ah, I know what you're doing. Yeah. You heard about the other guy and how he added one day, which really added to our tune. It created a nice beat, nice pattern, and you thought you could get more by adding in even more days. And so you come here and you destroy our song with the Deirdín Dehina Agus de Saturn, which don't have any rhythm to it. It completely destroys. How are we supposed to dance to that? Well, we're going to give you a present, all right?" With that, the fairies jumped on his back, and Thomas could feel heat this time, but instead of it being a release of weight, even more weight, and he crouched down even more. And there was no golden jacket, of course. The King of the Fairies says, "Off you go now. That's what you get for trying to fool us and trying to get more out of us for nothing." And Thomas went back to the pub, crouched down even more, and he didn't tell the rest of the village the story because he was ashamed of it. And unfortunately for him, Mickey would go on and marry the prettiest girl in the village, become very wealthy. And Thomas, we don't know what the end of it was for him. Hopefully he went on and changed his ways, and maybe the fairies did eventually get rid of that hump. We don't know the end of the story. But the lesson is, be generous in your community. Try not to take away from people. Try not to get something out of people for nothing. And that a lot of these old stories would have a moral in their tale like this one. So thank you for watching. Please check out all the other videos on my channel, and please like and subscribe.